Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I got a very funny article, and we have Weinstein and we have Mel Gibson. Now, people who maybe are familiar with Mel Gibson kind of know what that means if we have Weinstein, Harvey, and Mel Gibson in the same sentence. Now, Mel Gibson is that great actor and director and great guy. And on the other side, we have the other guy who was a producer and whatever he was, and he's Jewish. Now, if you know Mel Gibson, you know that he got in trouble with Jews in Hollywood, and not only, they all ganged on him because while he was drunk, he made some statements considered anti-Semitic, which means you can't criticize anybody, because if you criticize someone truthfully or not truthfully, there are laws that could punish you, but they try to make you shut up or destroy your lives because you say something that is not liked by certain kind of groups, proving that what he says might have something there. Why? If they're capable of destroying Mel Gibson's career for about 10 years at least, and just make him disappear, and still he's blacklisted in Hollywood, that tells you who really is there. I mean, if I would say in Hollywood what he said but referring to Romanians, nothing would have happened. Or let's say he would have said the same thing in putting over there the Germans or the Americans or the French, almost anybody else but about 2 or 3 groups nowadays, more than 3 groups, he would have not had the result, the consequences. Now, let's go and see what happens here with Harvey and Mel. And maybe you're going to understand what's going on here. Now remember, this article is going to be all against Mel Gibson. They're still against this guy. This article comes from Variety, and it comes from October 14th, 2022. Mel Gibson to testify against Harvey Weinstein in LA trial. Do you think they will take his testimony? I think they will throw it in a garbage. We're going to say he's an anti-Semite with a certificate to his chest, so he can't testify. He is biased, so out. You know, Weinstein is accused of certain things. Mel Gibson can be called to testify against Harvey Weinstein at the producer's upcoming Los Angeles rape trial, a judge ruled on Friday. Prosecutors want to call the actor to support the allegations of Jane Doe 3, they don't want to give us the name, a person who claimed that Weinstein sexually assaulted her after she gave him a massage at his hotel in 2010. According to Deputy District Attorney Marlene Martinez, the woman later told Gibson about the incident during a massage, and Gibson's testimony would help buttress the allegations. Judge Lisa B. Lynch allowed prosecutors to call Gibson to the stand. She also denied a defense request that they be allowed to ask Gibson about racist and anti-Semitic statements he has made over the years, but the defense will be allowed to ask whether Gibson holds a grudge against Weinstein, which he's going to deny. Obviously, the defense argued that Gibson has ill will toward Weinstein, dating from the release of Passion of the Christ, which was widely seen to play on anti-Semitic themes. Weinstein later published a book, Perspectives on the Passion of the Christ, that challenged the film. Wow! Remember when Mel Gibson produced with his own money that movie, The Passion of the Christ? He took the Bible and he did according to the Bible. He got banned to have his movie shown in the theaters, main theaters, United States of America, at the beginning, by the guys who are so open and free, and it's okay, don't touch them with a flower because they're going to ban you. Because they wanted Mel Gibson to get one sentence from the movie out, one scene. If he would have taken that scene out, the movie would have been kind of a-okay. There was the problem. What was the scene? Do you remember? Because I do. I read about it then. It was about, if you read the New Testament, right, the Christian Bible, not the Old Testament, You read the New Testament, you're going to see over there, I think it's in, can't remember, it's Matthew, or I don't know exactly which one of the apostles' books, where when Jesus is, here, Pilate is here, and Barabbas is there, and you have the gathering over there with, the Jewish leaders and the community over there. Remember, this is what the Bible says, not I say. I just reiterate what's going on over there. And Pilate says, okay, who should I give, who should I free today, because it's a Jewish holiday today? Barabbas, the thief, or Jesus, your king, or whatever. Don't stop calling him king. Okay, whatever. And he says, vote. So they voted to release Barabbas and put to death, crucify Jesus Christ. That's what is in the Bible, not me saying that. And then what does Pilate says? Okay, he goes and washes his hands. I wash my hands of this. That means it's on you. And here is where the problem say. Those people over there, they all said, the Jewish community, which is another stupid thing, but, well, this is what the Bible says, okay? And says, his blood be on us and our children. No, can't be. So that's what is heard over there. It's in the Bible. On any Bible, it's they say his blood should be on our children and so on. So they basically, fuck themselves up according to this, like, they can do that. Anyway, this, I'm not going to go into semantics. I'm not going to go into the meaning of that. And because Mel Gibson picked that, the public, the audience, the Jewish people saying that we are actually responsible for this, and that is the hell let loose. And they requested Mel Gibson to take that scene out, and then the movie would be kind of okay. And Mel Gibson, I don't remember if he said yes or not, but nevertheless, that was the problem, the big problem over there. Remember, he made the movie with his own money and whomever could pitch in, and he made a ton of money. It was so successful. I watched the movie. I didn't like the movie, to be honest with you. I didn't like it. It was too, come on, man, you whipped the guy so many times over there. It's too much, like they wanted to create something in people, and I'm pretty sure having such a success, it succeeded doing that. But for me, it was, I didn't see that. I saw other things, but nevertheless, it was a great movie, and I'm glad Mel Gibson had that success. So he's going to go over there and testify. Let's see if they give us, and if Weinstein was one of the guys who said, no, we got a problem with this, then you can imagine all other ones in Hollywood, what they did. So this created a feud between Mel Gibson and Weinstein, argued Mark Werksman, Weinstein's attorney, probably another Zelensky, right? When Werksman inaccurately claimed that the film won an Oscar for Best Picture, Weinstein gestured no with his arms with a look of disdain. Werksman also argued that Gibson is, quote-unquote, now trying to reestablish his image by becoming a champion of the Me Too movement. I don't know, I think you should not have done what you did to him. That's what I think. But you ask me, no, you did what you had to do. Good, but I can observe what you did. And I can disagree with that. Do I disagree with his statements? I might disagree with Mel Gibson's statements. Does he have the right? Yeah. Should there be consequences for his speech? If there are, that means you don't have his free speech. Because otherwise, next time Mel Gibson is not going to speak up his mind while drunk or not drunk, and that means auto-censor. Is that free speech? No. When you have consequences for your free speech, that's not your free speech, because it's going to make you censor yourself. You can say, well, it's a private business. Yeah, but I have the right to see who's the weasel here and who's not the weasel. He might be loose mouth and he thinks about certain things the way he does, whatever. What if, as I said, Mel Gibson would have said, well, I think the moon is a cube, okay? Would he be banned from Hollywood or from United States of America? What would be the penalty for that? Nothing. Why? Because he would be like, oh, he's just crazy, fuck him, whatever. But no, here, oh my God. And then again, hey, voy vey, and all that, our suffering, the victims of, that's what happens. And then everybody's like, oh, no, they're the victims, but they have so much power. How is that possible? I heard that here in the United States, you can't be racist unless you have power. Can you be, like that and still have the power? I mean, you're gonna make up your mind because you say, well, this group cannot be racist because they don't have the power. So power is associated with being racist. Okay, what about these guys? They have the power. Look what they did with this guy, multi-millionaire, right? Well known and loved and hated by people. Some, right? So can they be a little bit in a certain way? Gibson? I mean, you can't have it both ways. If you're the victim, I want to see that you're the victim. Oh, you were in the past. Okay, but here what are you going to do? You hurt this guy because he says something about you that, might not be true, might be true, I don't know. But he should have the right. And you say, yeah, I should have the right to punish him. Yeah, and I have the right to see what you're doing and analyze it and say, really? Well, maybe some of my compassion towards that is turning into passion of the Christ, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this is the weaseling that happens over there. I'm trying to find out if anything happened here with, they're going to tell us about, at the end, the last paragraph was always leaving it in a certain note so you can have a bad impression or bad, they try to form your opinion in the last paragraph because that's how the human brain memorizes the beginning of a story and the ending of the story, not the bulk. So the ending is portraying Gibson as an anti-Semite and anti-Semite and a white supremacist and all that, white supremacy. It goes to his unwillingness to grant equal status to someone who is not of his ilk. He has a white supremacist view. Welkman responded, blah, 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 blah. So they portray, that's the last paragraph. So they portray Gibson as this and that. Well, in my world, I think you should have any opinion and assessment you want, and you should express it freely without being afraid of expressing it. When I lived in Romania in the communist times, I know that my parents kept their mouths shut. You could say whatever you want because you can say it. But the problem is there a penalty? If they would say about Ceausescu or whatever, the communist regime that sucks, you could get in trouble if you say it more and you're an important person, or you say it often enough and you draw attention. They will take care of you. So then what do? You don't say it. You say it, but you don't say it in public. And we had free speech. Like here, we have free speech. But if there are consequences because some people might not like your free speech, then what? Is that free speech? No. And remember, communism, and you have communism, you have Weinstein, and then you have Karl Marx, and you have Trotsky, and you have Yagoda, and you have Kaganovich, and you have all these guys, and you tell me, oh, yeah. You have Zelensky, you have Yermak, you have Reznikov, you have Zhmihal. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Nothing, it's just a coincidence. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Mel Gibson, you rock. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.